Hello, skis. Welcome to Scum and Villainy. I will be your master of star ceremonies, your King Ginger, Fail Whale, the Ginger Giant. I am joined by most of the Scum and Villainy crew from our Extra Life game. Please go around the hull of the ship and tell everybody who you be.
All right, I am Nate. Normally I say I am your D&D ringer, but we're having us a Star War. I am playing Kamameza, a Celestin bounty hunter that got his, face rocked last time. He was not looking great. But, he's healed up now. Hopefully things will be better.
Good. Not muy good. He's had a month to bathe in some dirty back to water, so he's okay.
Gross.
Yeah, it's old. It's stale.
It's that way.
Bless you. Other things may have been growing inside of it as well.
That explains this weird rash on my side.
The question is, did he have world building flashbacks while he was in the back?
No. All right, who wants to go next?
Well, I like going around in order, otherwise I get lost. I'm Warrior. I'm playing Honk Khaleesi, a Jawa medic, and I don't even know these assholes.
You know of us, but that's about it.
Wow.
Hello, I'm Rorku Bauman. I am a Trandoshan bounty hunter.
That goes to you there, Beardsky.
Oh, did I start? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Rorku Bauman. I'm a Trandoshan bounty hunter. Cam and I have known each other for a real long time. He flies in my former clutchmate twins Sabath fighter. We have 2 of those, and I executed someone live on the HoloNet, and I'll tell you, that's a heck of a trophy to add to my collection.
Oh.
I'm Matt. I'm playing Wilbur, a Gamorrean bounty hunter. That's where I'm at.
Like these intros.
I'm Joel. I am playing PN15, the security droid turned ace pilot, who no longer has a purpose. I no longer have a ship.
Oh.
Time to self-destruct.
All right. So we're going to start off. Hopefully everyone has got a pretty good idea of what's been going on based on the lovely crawl that let us off. But there's one mystery involved in all this, and that is our Jawa medic. So Honk, you've been doing a lot of work lately. Not so much with the old Republic being gone and the new Imperial government installing itself. You've done a lot of flying medical supplies. Not so much smuggling per se, but just moving them from place to place to folks who need them. You get a job through a few functionaries. And you are given a location. And this isn't out of the ordinary for you. It's just slightly interesting because it's going to an area that, to your knowledge, is uninhabited. And in fact, uninhabited enough that you're not sure if anyone will be there, but you've been told to load this into a floating dock area that's like loosely attached to this platform, and then to send out this alert signal, and then to just leave. You shouldn't have any contact with anyone there. It seems like a little sketchy, but the reality is the fee is so good that you can't turn it down, because it's going to help upgrade your ship.
Much needed.
Much needed upgrades. Also, you've been heavily guilted by 2OB, who is your onboard medical droid. And by onboard, I mean built into the ship. He can't leave.
Mhm.
And he would like legs and or treads.
Sure.
Because being stuck on the ship all the time is really a drag for him. No pun intended. I mean, so you come out of hyperspace and you are on the verge of an asteroid field. It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere, off of a hyperspace lane, so you have to do a little subspace flying to get there.
Mhm.
But when you get there, what you realize is as you come upon it, this is an old, rundown, derelict mining station. However, it's no longer that, because it's been stripped down to the point where if there is atmosphere on it, it's being held in place by a force field generator. There isn't a dome. There are gangplanks moving from small asteroid to larger central asteroid, but there is just kind of that shimmering blue energy field that isn't always whole. So you kind of look at it like, yeah, I don't want to get off here, because this is not a safe environment for anyone. You pull up to your docking station and you latch on, and you can begin the unloading process. Meanwhile, our former bounty hunters are now, you were made aware, all of you, by a functionary of Alari Marin that you would be getting supplies. One of the reasons is because your Bacta has actually gone bad from the frequent use that it's needed after your encounter, let's put it, that made you criminals. Also, the lion, he did take the ship. He took the lion's head because he was on a secure channel, sent an alert that he was needed elsewhere. He did not specify where and why, but in the message he left you, he just said that it was the utmost importance to him, and that he would find you when and if he was able to come back. So Marin has kept you basically on ice this whole time. There is a signal blocker built into this former CIS staging area. It's been a little bit of a rough time, because since this was occupied by droids, they've stripped out most of the life support systems. You are constantly need to wear heavier clothing. You are all carrying the little rebreather masks in case, except for PN15, in case the oxygen goes out in any part of it because the shielding is all that's keeping the atmosphere in. And that shield generator looks like it was Old Republic, not the end of the Republic, Old Republic. You're not sure how it's still functional. In fact, you're not sure why it's still functional. Like, why was this even running at any point? But you've been living off of rations. It's been a rough month, but you've been able to heal. You've still been in radio silence with Taggart. They have not contacted you at all. When you see this oddly cobbled together wedge-shaped ship jump out of sublight into the asteroid field and head towards the docking bay. And by docking bay, it's like a platform where things can be unloaded, and then you can use a hover lift to move them towards the main facility. This is like a bunch of very small asteroids, probably a little bit bigger than ships, some a lot bigger than ships, that are all attached to a central asteroid by gangplanks with this kind of cylindrical open effect where the atmosphere is being maintained. And you do have a oxygen recycler, but again, it's not in the best shape. In fact, going so far as to say you all know you cannot live here indefinitely because you'll probably die, except for PN15, who's just like, this is fine, everything's fine, you're all good, stop your complaining, fleshy ones. All right. Does anyone want to do anything when they see this Jawa pull down the gangplank of his ship and start unloading supplies?
We know that the supplies are coming because of Alari alerting us to it.
You know through a third party.
Okay.
You've actually not had any contact with Alari Marin in the last month.
Okay. Yeah, I think that we'll go out to meet him. I think that I'm going to have a weapon ready just in case. But yeah, I'll bring a lift out and see what this guy's up to.
Were we told not to interact with others here?
I mean, has that ever stopped you guys from doing things you weren't told to do? Because I don't think it has.
I mean, that's fair.
PN15, did we get clearances from this ship? Does this check out?
Who knows?
That's great. You've been really helpful. You know,
PN5 is going to take another swig of his speeder bike coolant.
Hard
So you've
stuff,
all
right?
noticed that around where he's swigging that in, he's starting to get like this corrosion mustache.
Hot. Real hot.
It's just another person with a ship.
he'll bring her back. If the lion says he's got somewhere to be, he had somewhere to be. I'm sure that he wouldn't have taken Dolores unless it was absolutely necessary.
Selfish bastard.
Yeah. Okay, let's go. Let's go check this guy out from a distance and see what he's delivering, or see what they're delivering.
All right, I'll join you.
All right.
So you make your way out. Are you doing anything special before you leave?
Making sure the oxygen's working.
Every once in a while, you got to kick that thing to keep it moving. In fact, what you have all done as well is you've stored your ships in a hollowed asteroid that's attached.
Okay.
That was originally, you think, designed as a loading and unloading dock, but it's covered in it's got a screener on it that makes it look like an asteroid front. So while it's open, you can't tell it's open on the outside. So if you have to leave, the only thing is you have to be able to get there to get on your ships.
Okay.
So,
And we have the 3 ships, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you make your way over, and again, it's always a daunting task because you're literally walking out into very thin atmosphere and gravity across these plastisteel and steel gangplanks that have seen much better days. And this has been completely stripped down because it was used by droids. You have found what would be reasonable accommodation areas, but they're packed to the gills with droid troopers who are just deactivated, waiting to be called up for a war that's been over for 5 years. Also, there's no central console for them to draw orders from. So they're just dead units.
Okay, so we haven't been able to try to activate them.
There's no central processing core to do that.
All right.
You think this place was also stripped out pretty heavily afterwards because there were no munitions or anything else. Like maybe this was at one point being used as a pirate or smuggler's drop-off station, but even they were like, no, this is no bueno, no good. So as you're going, you realize that you can be seen like on these gangplanks. Are you doing anything to try to make yourselves less visible?
I feel like unless we know who this is, we're trying to kind of keep the lowest profile as possible. So I would assume that we're not just kind of like walking out there and just being like, "Hey, buddy, what's going on?" So yeah, I mean, I would.
And Honk, are you like looking around, or you're just like, all I just got to do is drop these things off, and I'm out?
Honk is mostly just trying to get this done as quickly as possible because F this place. But I think he'd probably he'd be pretty dumb if he didn't kind of like try to read what's going on here. See if anything's about. This place seems super sketch. So
It is.
Can I? Oops, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, we're not necessarily in a charged interaction, but could I make an observe and see like if this like kind of checks out, like if it looks like he's actually delivering medical supplies like our intel says?
Yeah, I mean, you have to. Yeah, you know what? You've probably got the Star Wars goggles, binoculars.
The ones that don't look like they have any lens on the outside.
Yeah, with the one
The old
tiny
Kenobi
dot.
trailer.
Yeah.
Oh, those, okay. So I roll plus sharp. Oh, I got a 6.
No, you can't tell, and that makes you very concerned because all of the crates being moved into this staging area, they're unmarked. And those could be munitions crates. Those could be explosives. Hell, those could be droids inside those crates. You don't know this tiny person. But you do know that they're here, and now they know someone else is here. Honk, you're moving this stuff, and you kind of look up, and you adjust your breather on your helmet, your processor, and at first you just kind of catch a glimpse of light bouncing. You think, oh, it's a trick of the fact I'm in open space in starlight. And then you realize you're catching a glimpse off of a pair of Star Wars binoculars. Because I don't remember what they're called. So I'm just going to call them Star Wars binoculars.
Macro binoculars, I think.
Macronoculars. We're going to call it. We're going to make that up. That's what it is. Someone's watching you.
I was going to pause.
It always feels like somebody's watching you, but
It does, but on an uninhabited, atmosphereless waste station in a bunch of asteroids, this feels a little weird. I think he's going to stop unloading for a second, and can he read the situation?
Yeah.
You think he wants to focus on that for a second, make sure no one's going to, I don't know, murder him and put his head on a pedestal or something. That is an 8.
Whoever it is, you know they're far enough away. You can get back on. Does your ship have a name, by the way?
Yeah, it's called Mine.
Oh, that's right. You told me that. You know you could get back on Mine, and you know, just because you played it this way, the 2OB has the ship ready to leave, mainly because he's wired directly into the ship. So he doesn't have a whole lot to do. Like in my head, I picture it that he's on like a crane arm inside the ship that like moves him around.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's in his back.
Yeah, that seems janky enough for this.
It's super janky.
Yeah.
And while 2OB he's built for medical, he can do enough of the very janky astromech duties that you need of him.
Perfect.
That's why you got him, is because, you know.
Mm-hmm. What's it? Just a cute name.
Yeah.
Oh, what a good boy.
He's a good boy. But you can see there's more than one, but they're traveling in single file so to hide their number.
Like lambs to the slaughter. Honk is going to continue unloading the crates, but he's going to start positioning them in a way that sort of makes a makeshift bunker for himself if things go bad. He's giving his
you can totally lay things down to where it is protective of you as well as functional.
Yeah. He's going to do that and just keep an eye, sort of like until he's done or something else happens.
Okay. What are the rest of you folks doing who are watching this from afar?
Now that some time has passed, PN 1515 is just going to start trudging out to look at the new ship while saying things like, "Oh, look, I'm piloting my feet."
Aww. So PN15 makes their way out, and you can see that your cohorts are trying to be as inconspicuous as their fleshy forms allow them to be. But they look awkward. And the ship you see out there on the platform is a cobbled together mess.
I'm right here.
I'm right here. Why are you doing this to me?
It's just like me.
Oh no! The depressed robot is depressed.
I think Honk will stop what he's doing and give an extra long look at this drunk robot.
But the robot is far enough away that you can't see them.
Okay, then he doesn't do that. My robot senses tingling.
My robot. Is that a robot over there?
Is that a robot over there?
Hey, I'm roboting over here.
Okay. So as you're all doing this and you're kind of trying to figure out what to make of everything that's happening, there is a moment that almost it makes things feel very, very, very uneasy. All of you feel there's just an unnatural tension in the air.
Would you say we have a bad feeling about this?
I would say that yes, you indeed have a very bad feeling about this.
Can I roll sharp to read a sitch to see if I can see why?
Yeah.
Can I also do that?
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, that's a surprise. So I rolled 2 6s, so that's a 13.
Damn.
Honk got an 11.
Okay. So you don't so much, either of you even hear it because there's no sound in space, but it's almost like Cam and Honk, you feel it's almost like a vibration as a massive Guav ship comes tearing out behind an asteroid, and out of the docking bay spills a squadron of Z-95 headhunters. The other thing you notice is you see out of the same large vessel a troop of Guavians wearing retrofitted space armor drop suiting down onto the asteroid.
Oh shit.
Honk is going to leave.
Your contact beacon in your ship is going just on with a recorded message in Galactic Common telling you, isn't it called like Interlac or something like that? Or is that?
That's Legion of Superheroes.
Dang it!
That is-
Now I want to. Now I,
it is-
There's no reason it can't be in Star Wars.
Yeah,
yeah, I try to keep those terms.
I think it's basic.
Yeah, basic.
It is.
So in Galactic Basic, that's, and then it kind of moves through a bunch of different languages, but it just keeps returning to Galactic Basic. That that this is a authorized arrest warrant being served. Do not raise your weapons. Surrender. Do not operate your ship. Prepare to be boarded.
This is going to Honk ship.
It's going out, like I said, on kind of a rotating message.
But like we can't hear that like in the space station, can we?
Whoever's in the station could.
Oh shit. Okay.
But you guys are all out in this gangplank going, oh no.
But
And
PN15
PN15
could
is
hear it.
standing out on the gangplank opening, just going, huh, I'm sad. And now I'm probably going to get sadder.
So, but we see like this death gang dropping on us. Yeah.
Not a death gang.
Okay.
Not a death gang.
But they're
These-
Guavians, right?
They are Guavians. They don't have to all be in death gangs, though.
Okay. I'm just saying. I just expect that
Hey.
to be like
Hey,
in
Are they-
Galactic Basic with a really bad like accent.
Tarathi's.
Say that again.
Tarathis.
Tarathi.
So these 6 headhunters just come zooming out, and they strafe the railway you're on, and almost like cutting you off from going forward towards this jinky sandcrawler ship. They're all stripped down, but painted on the nose with this like almost looking like a red shark's face on the nose of these ships. They're painted also like on the back end with like this red moving almost into like flames on the back. They're all customized a little bit. And they strafe over the top and they're like moving in squadron formation, like they're moving back around to possibly cut you off from the actual asteroid to detach your gangplank. Also, you realize that the oxygen in this shield is leaking out from being shot numerous times.
All right. Well, I want to put my mask on and then run toward the.
Let's get to the ships.
Yeah, I guess.
So you got to go back to your living area and then
Yeah.
across another gangplank way in open space to where your ships are, start them up, and then go.
Hey, that's better than dying on the gangplank.
All right, so Cam, you're just turning and running, right?
Yeah.
I got Rorku, Wilbur following suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, you want to do something different. Now you've got my attention with a yeah, I guess.
I mean, which are we completely cut off? Which is closer? Which asteroid is closer to us right now?
The sandcrawler ship is closer, but you
Yeah.
have to jump across an open space of space.
Ah,
You got to get across a space of space.
Well, we could, if you guys want to jump on the hover lift, we could try doing it, and then I could hop on the back, and we could fucking skid across and see if we could hop in this sand crawler, see what's what.
Maybe do an ollie. I don't know.
Do a kickflip. Do a kickflip. Did we see that PN15 like came out on the gangplank all sad?
No.
Or
No, because you've all been enthralled by what was going on with this tiny person, and now this squadron of, you don't know what, flying out and demand. Oh, you can't hear, but you're guessing coming to kill you. Which only two people knew where you were, in their proxies, their immediate proxies.
the lion and
No, I guess
Laurie.
3.
Wait, who is the other person?
Laurie, the lion, and Taggart.
Oh yeah, Taggart.
I mean,
The lion, the witch, and the wardrobe. Oh, damn it, Honk.
yeah. If you guys want to hop on, I've got unstoppable as a move, or out of the way as a move. So I could.
All right.
Well, make a
Well.
decision because you can see
Yeah.
these Z95s.
I think if
They're
that's the
coming
closest,
around the short end of the asteroid, and they're coming at you again for another strafing run.
sure. Let's get to cover.
All right. If you want to grab me before I start running the other way.
Yeah, I'll grab you and toss you on the hover lift, and me and Wilbur are gonna like. I also have out of the way, so let's just like get going.
Rorku,
and,
make me an act under fire, please. Since Cam just turned to go, and you're like, yeah, things have moved quickly.
So, and that is my highlighted move.
Okay.
So I get an extra +1, right?
No, I think you just get the XP for.
Yeah, you just
using
get
it.
the XP.
Oh yeah, gotcha. Oof. No.
What'd you get? So Rorku, you like look over and you see Wilbur basically getting his body ready to roll, and you like start to hop on to the sled, and Cam just turns around and goes. And you reach out to grab him, and you just whiff. Just as Wilbur grabs the handles and starts running. Like a 12-year-old pushing carts in the Cub parking lot.
Oh, fuck. That wasn't good. I rolled a 6.
Oh no!
Yeah.
So you're pushing the sled, and you get to the part where the atmosphere and gravity is kind of jumbled because there's actual blast holes through it, and the sled you try to pop over this gap, and the sled jams into the gap and starts to literally fall off the gangplank into space. You both need to make me let me tell you. Give me an act under fire. What are you doing to prevent yourself from falling into the endlessness of space, to the black void?
I'm going to pull my whipcord out, and I'm going to try to lasso on and grab Wilbur so that we don't go flying off. Because Cam is on the cart, right?
No,
No,
Cam
on the
went
other way.
other
Cam ran the
direction.
other way. Okay, well then, yeah. So I'm just going to try.
You were on the cart, and Wilbur was pushing it.
I just pushed you into the void.
Okay, well then, yeah, I'll try to grab Wilbur and use my whipcord to lasso on the other side, on the side where the sand crawler is.
That's awesome, Wilbur. What are you doing?
I'm gonna, I guess, try and use I'm just gonna try and grab something.
All right. So what I'll let you do is, Wilbur, you're gonna roll 1 dice. And
Okay.
if your dice is higher than either of Rorku's, he can use that dice.
All right.
Cool. All right, here we go.
Shit won't be.
And is this I would assume that this is a cool move.
Acting under fire, baby.
All right, here we go. Okay, that's much better. 7 plus 1, 8.
What, did you have a higher
I got a
number
5
than
and a 2.
Did you get better than a 2?
Nope.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I get some different dice out here.
I'm gonna switch these out.
So Wilbur reaches out and he grabs a hold after he loses control over the gosh, my brain really doesn't want to work tonight. The lift, the hover lift. And it just starts to dive down into the nothing of space. And you see Rorku launch his whip, Space Indiana Jones, Space Georgia Stevenson style, and it wraps around a piece of bar, and he locks onto it. He reaches down and he grabs you as you grab him, and all of a sudden you can't feel your legs. You look down, and they're outside the shield.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Rorku, you're like, oh man, I've saved you, and then you hear the metal on the gangplank go and start to bend and break. PN15, you're watching all of this, just going, oh, this isn't good. Boy.
It looks like his legs are going to be ripped away like Dolores was ripped away from me.
Being made of flesh is really unfortunate.
Can I just not feel them, or are they not attached to me anymore?
They're still attached.
Okay, they're just out in the void of space.
Yeah.
All right. That's not good.
No, it is not good. Like frozen pork cracklings.
Oh God.
PM15, what are you doing?
How far from Rorku and Wilbur am I?
You're pretty far.
Okay.
And you also know that you can see those headhunters coming back around, and they're looking to strafe between where you are at the door and Cam, who's running towards you.
Well, I don't like that they're flaunting how they have ships and I don't. So the one that's nearest I'm going to pull a little bit of a RoboCop. I'm going to chuck the bottle of coolant at the nearest ship.
Okay.
And
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
then do the holster draw from my leg housing and shoot the bottle.
Okay. Yeah. I'm down. Let's see it.
All right. Is a 7 going to get that done?
So, what you do is you rear back and you throw this thing, and man, when you throw it at the precise angle, it's moving. It almost looks like he's throwing his bottle of coolant at you.
Oh no.
And then it flies and it goes right through the barrier of atmosphere and gravity. And all of that momentum and speed starts to go away and it starts to slow tumble. But you're very brilliant and very disregarding of Fleshy's mind still realizes you can make that shot. It just maybe won't do exactly what you wanted to. Also, possibly you could blow up Cam, but you gotta scramble a few bantha eggs to make a bantha omelet.
Well, and I have become accustomed to loss.
Do banthas lay eggs? I don't even know.
They do now.
Yeah, I'm taking the shot.
All right. What'd you get?
That would be so I'm doing 2 hard rolls, correct?
We already did one.
For the
You
shot.
did one, yeah, and now let's do it for the shot.
Okay. 10.
Perfect. All right. So you wait until the lead headhunter in the squadron starts coming up to make its strafing run from underneath. You wait and you wait and you wait, and you got to figure this person does not really know what's in or is floating. They're just going to cruise right past it, and you shoot, and it blows up in front of the ship. And the ship comes out of this like fireball, and the pilot has panicked and rotated its ship and hits the gangplank.
Where exactly does it hit the gangplank?
Where you were running from.
Oh no!
But you're in front of it.
Yeah. Okay.
So Cam, I need you to act under fire as this thing begins to get ripped away and the ship begins to blow up.
You know, if you
can, as you're running, you look up and PN-15 is blowing the mist of its coolant onto the barrel of its gun.
All right. I got a 7, so not quite as good as that 12 earlier.
You're going, and the explosion throws you. And you take a wound.
Okay.
As you go ass over tea kettle, slam onto the gangplank, and the gangplank just kind of is disintegrating as you're moving. You actually bounce like a stone being skipped over water until you land at PN-15's feet.
I just want to point out, if you didn't think this was Star Wars, Cam running down a disintegrating bridge as something explodes, spot on Star Wars.
Also, your jacket is like smoldering.
All right,
from the blast.
Pat it out. Yeah.
So, Honk, you're like peering behind one of these crates, and just like everything has happened. So you make your way up onto the gangplank, and you hear all this, and you're like, oh, look back outside, and these things are, they're not called gangplanks. I can't think what they're called. They're just getting torn up. You see a Trandoshan and a Gamorrean running at you, and they basically try to jump through a hole. Instead, are hanging on by their lives. You know you could get to them, but man, there's still 5 ships out there getting around to make a pass, and you see these troopers basically dropship style flying down and locking on to some of the more metal parts of this mining installation.
I don't like it. I don't like it. This was not what I signed up for. This is not. There's not enough creds in the world for this. Honk is going to. Are they paying any attention to his ship yet?
All you've been getting is that repeated statement.
That
They
repeated
seem to be very like. I mean, your ship doesn't look like it could run away. Also, it may not. You've got a very well-known transponder code, hence the reason it's easy to find you, because you have nothing to hide. You're just
I'm
a
above
purveyor of
board.
medical goods. You're a good Samaritan.
I took a hippopotamus oath.
Exactly, and that's when your good old buddy 2OB comes craning out onto the gangplank and says, Dr. Honk, it appears your hippopotamus oath is being put to the test. Is it not a physician's job to do all they can to save the needy or robots that are slaved into your ship? Where are my legs?
You can't see his face because he's wearing a mask.
Yeah.
But he his body just sort of gives a sort of defeated, his little 2'8" tall body gives a sort of defeated sigh. He looks down and you hear this like, sorry. And then he goes.
It reaches down over you and puts a little vest on you with a little like controlled, like not a rocket pack, but like a it'll push you in outside the atmosphere. It'll give you not gravity, but like they do on like a rover.
Yeah.
Also gives you like into your hand slides what looks kind of like a cauterizing gun. Right tool for the right job, doctor.
All right. Let's go get you those legs. And Honk will go over to the precarious situation.
The nice thing you have this vest is you don't have to walk then. It'll literally just like you will cross the way to
Stardad just floats like 3 inches off the ground.
Yeah. So Rorku, as you're holding on for dear life, Wilbur, you're holding on to Rorku for dear life, and the metal of the gangplank is starting to bend. You hear this, and you look up, and there's a weird-looking Jawa or other tiny robed figure with a weird helmet on, moving across the gangplank without walking, just floating above, headed towards you, who looks, body language-wise, very trepidatious about all of this.
Is that a ghost Jawa?
Is that the hidden? Is that the
ghost
oh
Jawa?
God, what is that band called with the 2 helmeted guys? Is that the shortest member of Daft Punk?
That's pretty right on.
Yeah. One more time.
Mhm.
All right, PN15, Cam, what are you doing?
Well, I'm gonna kind of pat my shoulders and my jacket to help it not keep or not start on fire, and then I'm gonna say to PN15, we gotta go. You can take Rorku's ship. He went the other way.
The slow, sad tilt, and almost because the coolant hasn't been being put on, it's being drunk. You can hear a slight creak in the neck when he puts his head down.
After that, PN15 is gonna do the RoboCop gun holster And he's just gonna like pick up Cam since he's wounded, and he's gonna turn and start walking back to the facility so that we can cross that.
As you walk, there is an explosion from the ceiling above you. I mean, it's not quite a room away, but this is a large open space, so it's at not even the full other end, but at another end. And a cloud of Minox come out and just start attaching to things. They look panicked, and that's as you see Guavians in like additional armor to help them in the drop, rappel down into this area.
If you would prefer, Cam, we could hang on the droid racks and hope they don't notice us.
I'm pretty sure they're going to notice us. We need to move a little faster.
Okay. And he'll keep walking at the same speed.
That is when there's again, you can, because you're being carried like a sack of taters.
Mm-hmm.
You see one of them finally clock you, hits a thing on the side of its oversized helmet, and again, this time out of a loudspeaker, you hear, halt. This is a arrest warrant being served, and it lists off your names.
So before that person starts talking, can I just shoot them with my blaster?
Well, you can certainly try.
All right. So I'm gonna roll hard here.
Do these sound like the Guavian Death Gang folks? They're just like, Han Solo, you're a dead man.
No. It's like garbled. And they're all wearing that super cool red and black armor stuff. You can't see anybody's face.
All right. Well, I have good news and I have bad news. The good news
give
is
me that good news first.
I get experience.
I was going to say.
That's a fail.
So you're like tracking them, and the lead turns, and as soon as he sees you, you can see him raising his gun and getting ready to hit his helmet, and you fire. And as you fire, that's when PN-15 moves slightly to the side to avoid stepping on a Minoc, and you miss completely. Shooting a different Minoc, and all of the Guavians turn at one point. He hits his helmet, the announcement goes over, then they all do the same thing. So this announcement's just on repeat, almost like a round, and then they open fire.
Yep.
While he's firing, PN-15 says, I am an Imperial security droid. I am taking this captive to holding.
Making me as you're repeating this, PN-15, why don't you try to seduce the Guavians with your hot roll? So while PN-15 is doing that, Honk, you reach where they're looking up at you. Like with these Trandoshans generally don't have soft pleading eyes, but this one does. And you look down and you realize that the Gamorrean's legs are gonna need to go.
I don't know about this whole having to pay for what we've done. Consequences for actions.
Oh, beans!
Sorry about your damn luck, Will.
Hey, it's Star Wars. You can get lots of cool stuff instead of them legs.
You're a shock boxer, not a shock kickboxer. You'll be fine.
Retired anyway. It's
Yeah, we'll hook you up with some mall legs.
Honk, what do you want to do?
Honk is going to, sort of boop, 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 over to the edge.
All I can see is like those little those circles.
Yeah, it's the
And
Jetsons.
like the Jetsons.
thing.
Yeah.
And so like it's the situation is like Rorku's barely hanging on, Wilbur's below, and his legs are frozen looking probably. All right. Honk is gonna
like Jason
pause
giving
and
that
sort of-
girl a face wash in Jason X.
Oh,
wow.
The best.
So Honk is gonna sort of loom over something for the first time in his little Jawa life.
You feel so much power.
And he's just gonna say, "You teeny motherfuckers," and then he's going to let me see. I'm trying to think of what he'll does they. So the way this suit vest thing works, it gives him like extra leverage. So would he like normally he wouldn't be able to like lift anything approaching this amount of weight, but like does he get the feeling that
But
like
this you actually
he'll
you think
help
you have just enough torque.
he will
All right.
he will utilize his torque fully in this situation to,
As you're doing this, those Z95 headhunters are making their third pass. They're coming back around. So I would like you to act under pressure, act under fire.
I gotta do cool. All right, let's see.
Are you cool?
Let's see
Be
how-
cool. Are you cool? Be
let's
cool.
see how this works for everybody. I don't think it's going to be very good. Oh, that's very bad. That's a 3. 4 minus 1. 3.
Well,
But I
King,
get
we
an
had a good run.
experience point, so
I want Rorku and Wilbur to both make me a cool as well.
Have I suffered wounds?
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
not? Okay, so at least I get a -2 to my
Hey,
target.
quick question. Who had the 12 earlier? Who had
that was
you had,
me.
you had a natural 2 6s?
Yeah.
Okay, remember you get a hold 1.
Okay.
Which is
Okay, so that would be
which is I think the way we were doing it's 1 dice auto success. So it's auto 6. That you
I
can
got a
give.
9.
You got
I got
9?
a 7.
And because I'm wounded, my unstoppable kicks in, so it's -2 to whatever my target is.
Okay, so you Wilbur, you feel the metal begin to give way before it snaps, and you use you pull Rorku with your considerable girth backwards, and you swing yourself off, and you latch your thick Vienna sausage style fingers through the grate, and you're hanging by one hand underneath. And when the tiny Jawa person doesn't grab Rorku effectively and the whip slips, you grab Rorku by the chest, by the clothes, and you're holding him with the other, and now you're both underneath this gangplank. Honk, you look down and you're like, oh no.
I've made the situation worse. This is
And that's when you realize as well that the gangplank, you can hear the rivets popping from the weight, because there wasn't supposed to be that much direct weight in one spot, which doesn't help as the shots from the Z95 headhunters, which seem less aimed at killing you and more aimed at stopping you from going anywhere. They strafe across and they damage the plankway back to your ship. It's not destroyed, but it's damaged. So you're sitting on a floating area where the end towards where they came out of is gone. And the other, so you're on a space now, and the other end where you came from is starting to fall apart.
So were these just open like catwalks? like
Yeah, catwalks, I think, is what I'm looking for.
okay, are we talking? Yeah, are
they
we
were
talking?
domed, like circular field around them.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was skyways or
They were like
or
they were
if this
catwalks.
is-
Yeah,
or
they
if,
were-
or if it's Space Mutiny style.
Space Mutiny. There can be total death by railing here.
All right.
Honk is gonna all right, this is beyond my physical capabilities here. I'm not too proud to admit that. And he will.
You turn around to leave, and your boy, your good boy, two OB is hanging. You know, the upper torso and the on the gangplank, looking at you and waving like you can do it.
No, we could do it in the ship. We just float under and catch him. Like
what? Like are you yelling? Like,
he's on they have like a radio or something.
oh, like a comm link? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because I just imagined you're like trying to tell him with no facial expression on your helmet, like pointing, and he's just going, "You can do it."
No,
And
they
then
have a
you
comm
go,
link.
no, hey, go, get the ship.
Get the ship going.
And he's like, oh, okay. And then
Dang.
ducks in, and you see the gangplank come up. And this ship looks like it should hard start, like blow blue smoke out of the back of it when it goes. But it doesn't really do that. It actually is shockingly effective in what it does.
It's all
And
smoked out.
so you see the landing gears, rather than pull up, they actually extend down, and the ship ends up almost up and down to the point it slides backwards off of the little landing pod area. Then the engines kick in, and it flies directly underneath where Rorku and Wilbur are. Rorku, if you could, or Wilbur, if you could feel your feet, you'd feel them hitting the top of this ship.
Oh, you mean me? Yes.
Yes. What do you guys want to do?
Can we see an opening to get in the ship? Can I drag Wilbur to
Honk,
a hatch?
Honk, is there an opening on the top of the ship?
I feel like it can be oriented. Yeah, that's where the control deck is.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's like a hatch or something.
Is it kind of like the Millennium Falcon in Empire, where there's
Sure.
like two little things and it
Mhm.
creates a tiny bubble of atmosphere?
Yeah.
Okay. So these two doors automatically open. Rorku, you look down and you can see the change in color, that slight sheen of there being an atmospheric field above this hole. Do you want to tell Wilbur to let you go? Because right now Wilbur is holding on for dear life.
What do you mean, like?
You'll fall into this hole.
Okay. Yeah. I'll say.
He lets go like, what are we doing? Wilbur, you gonna follow suit?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this thing's gonna fall on my head or fall
Honk,
apart.
are you going underneath and going in? Honk, are you now flying underneath and going in? Okay, I need you to make me an act under fire.
Jesus Christ. All right. At least I'll get an experience point when I fail. 5. That's 6 minus 1 for 5.
Oh, can I use?
I'm a Jawa.
Right.
I do not do this. I courier medical supplies and organs sometimes. That's all I do.
Can I use my hold to help Honk?
You can use your hold to replace one of his rolls with an auto 6, yes.
All right,
All right, then that's a 10.
there you go.
As this thing starts to break apart finally, to spindle and fail, with the shock of Wilbur letting one bit of weight go and then letting himself go, as it starts to crack, spindle, and fold, you expertly fly your little behind right into there as this stuff starts to clang onto the top of the mine and drops down. You all come quickly to the pilot deck of the ship, and you see a half of a robot on a moving. It's like got a track built into the ship with an arm that moves its torso around, and it turns and looks at you and says, "Well, except for Wilbur, you have to crawl there if you're going to get there. You have to army crawl because your legs ain't working." Yeah, very bored queen. Yeah.
Strong.
So
board.
Rorku, you get there in this robot, and I grabbed pictures off the interwebs that I can share with you guys later, because I don't know if we can share them on the stream or not. So
Yeah,
because
you can
they're
share
not
them on the
mine.
screen, just like we do it on our regular thing.
No, I just meant, is it okay for us to share this stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's
Yeah,
share.
we're not claiming ownership of it. Oh,
Ooh.
that's cool.
So that's what our boy looks like, and he looks
I think
over at
either your asses would look like that.
he looks over at you, and he says, "I very much hope that one of you are a pilot of some talent."
You can't keep saying these kinds of things around me when I'm here.
Well,
I literally drove us here.
As he points one of his 3 digits, mechanical digits, out of the observatory window, you see the headhunters come back around.
Tell you, I don't get no response.
Can I look and see where the controls for this?
Yes, you can.
The
They're
ship
right.
are?
They're right there. This is while it's cobbled together in a fashion that's very smart, very user friendly.
Yeah, I mean, if I know where they are, I'm just gonna head for those and like hop into the seat and
As Rorku puts his hands on the controls, Honk like slaps one of his hands and is like, "Not till you say the magic words."
and
You
I
hear
just turn
this?
to him and like give a big Trandoshan hiss as loud as I can.
Whenever Honk talks, and Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong, it does sound like that accent in Basic, except for it comes out of like a metallic twang.
There's a
So,
little
like-
bit of a metallic twang.
Yeah,
'cause of
so like a lippy robot.
like Rosie from the Jets.
Yes.
Okay, so also, can I clarify? Does he have a freaking like space belt like the Great Gazoo from Flintstones? That's like
Yeah. That's exactly what I imagined.
Yeah, get your own space belt. Rude.
That's amazing.
That's why that noise just kept coming into my head. Was like,
That's amazing.
Oh, by the way, here is since we are sharing some photos, let me here's what your asteroid looks like.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I mean, it was
I
nice
assume
while it lasted.
I assume that's a benevolent, large red laser beam headed towards.
Here's what the large Guavian vessel looks like. Here's what the Z95 headhunters look like. And for PN15 and Cam, there's what your boys look like.
Yeah,
And they are excited to see you.
I'm sure they are.
Got a hunter
All right.
that's me that looks like that.
I don't know how far behind Rorku and Honk I am as I'm dragging myself.
You're at least 10 feet behind.
Okay, so yeah, as I'm dragging myself,
You're at least 5 frozen leg lengths behind.
okay. I do apologize for your floors because my armor is undoubtedly just scraping
Yeah,
the hell out of them.
I mean, you've seen the floors in here.
I mean, as long as if they're hardwood, you're going to need to get them refinished.
And that's when
They
20B
haven't
points
been
out. That's when 20B points out, Wilbur, that you don't have to worry about that too much because they've broken off. And you look back, and from the knee down is just shattered ice legs behind you.
Okay. All right. You're very rude, and I do not enjoy your presence on my ship, but I need to help your friend who has no legs anymore.
And that's when 20B goes down and incapacitates Wilbur with a shot. I have prepped the patient
Thank you.
for surgery.
Thank you. I definitely know how to cure this.
Another arm comes down and grabs Wilbur and moves him to a rising table. Roku, you're at the command controls. That's when shots are fired, son. Shots fired. You need to make me a cool.
A cool?
Yep.
Okay, better. 8, 9.
Okay, so this ship doesn't like roll. Like it's not a fighter.
No.
It's got a reasonable shield. These
Okay.
shots, you're able to kind of, again, just lower yourself as the fighters are coming to strafe. You just kind of drop below. And they don't have quite enough time to adjust their trajectory, but they get shots off enough to ding you up a tiny bit to make sure you know that they're turning around as quick as they can. These are very fast ships, but they're not the most maneuverable.
Sure.
Like they're just very fast.
Yeah.
So also you notice on your sensor that the larger Guavian vessel is turning to meet your trajectory, like it's trying to cut you off. And that thing's loaded with guns.
Okay.
Back inside the hangar, Cam and PN15, you are being shot at and repeatedly yelled at. And basic.
All right. Well, I'm still being carried like a sack of potatoes. So I guess I'm just gonna fire back at him.
PM115, are you gonna pick up the pace? You gonna fire back? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'll fire back.
Gonna shoot behind you as you run? What are you doing?
I'll do a little Barry Sanders-esque spin.
And then run backwards.
And then
as you
finish
fire.
the spin, like basically full spin in stride, shoot when I'm facing them, and pick up the pace as I turn away from them, all while keeping Cam, as comfortable as he can be. So I am also a studying Cam operator.
Hey, Cam, have you rolled yet?
Yeah, I did. I got 10.
Take your highest number and re-roll it because you're being spun around as you fire by PN15.
Dang it, because I rolled a 3 and a 5. Well, let's see what we get here. Okay, well that is still a 5, so it's still
that's 10. Awesome. So, PN, you start to spin, and Cam, you're like, oh God, but you're able to turn your blaster and shoot kill shot style, and you drop one of the Guavians immediately. Headshot, it goes down. PN15, what did you roll?
I rolled a 9.
Okay. So as you turn, you blast 2, they go down, and you turn all the way to start running. And that's when you notice that the blast doors are still shut.
Dead or alive, you're not coming with me.
So one of you is going to have to stop running and or gunning and open the blast doors.
It makes the most sense for me to open the blast doors.
Okay. So I would like you both to act under fire.
Yeah.
Got a 7.
Excellent.
I also got a 7.
Okay. You start to operate the Cam, you're laying down cover fire. PN15, you start to open the blast doors. And after you get them about that wide, one of the Guavians blows the control panel. You can both, Cam, you can get through rather easily. PN15, it might be a tight fit.
I'll fit.
All right. Well, I'm going to squeeze through, and then I'm going to lay down suppressing fire.
Oh,
he
are
tries
you
to
actually
get
going to lay down? or are you actually just laying down suppressor?
Well, I'm just gonna shoot.
How,
I'm
okay,
gonna stand.
explain to me again how you're going to do that when you only have a window of about maybe 1.5 feet, and a giant robot is trying to squeeze through that 1.5 feet.
Oh, so it's opening vertically rather than
Yes.
horizontal. Okay.
I'm very.
He is. Then I will actually lay down and fire.
Okay.
So you can just step over me.
Don't roll bad.
No. So that is 12. 10
Natty
plus
12?
2. No, 10 plus 2.
You drop to the ground and you just and a couple of the Guavians that are moving forward to fire, you shoot their legs right out from underneath them. They're not dead, but they ain't walking anywhere for a long time.
It's going around.
PN1, yeah, it is going around.
Free legs.
PN15, make me that. Ooh, check, baby.
Stay on the table.
I can't.
5.
You're stuck. You hear metal just scraping together, and you hit a point in your chest plate where your middle bolt is, and it just stops. And that's when you get shot the first time. And then you get shot again. Cam, you look up, and PN15 looks down and just gets jolted once and then again from being shot.
Is there anything on this side?
Take a wound, please, PN15.
Is there anything on this side I can do to get the door to open a little more, or did them blowing up that? Okay. Is there any loose giant metal bar I can use to try to pry the door open a little more?
You could grab the rail bar, try to break it off and jam it in there
All right,
to pry bar it open.
sure.
On the
Make
upside,
me an act under fire for that.
That is a 7.
It takes you a little bit more than you'd like to tear that off there. So when you end up tearing it off, rather than a full-length bar, it's just like a pry bar size.
Hey man,
So
it's not
you
the
jam
size
it in there.
I use it.
And you start to pull. PN15, what do you want to do?
well, give me just 1 second. I am currently adding +1 to my hard skill because that failure was my 5th experience.
Nice.
That's beautiful. So while you do that and figure out your next step, Honk, you've got a Gamorrean laying on the table
Yeah.
whose wounds aren't really bleeding out because they were frozen.
Yeah. I
from
should
the-
think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
He has nothing from the knees down.
No, I get it. I see it. It's all over the floor, which is sort of an improvement to the floor. I should probably take a second to describe the setup here. I didn't take infirmary, so he goes and gets his med kit, and his med kit, when he opens it up, sort of very Jawa scale, sort of folds out into this Rube Goldberg sort of contraption with like a cot and like some very rudimentary medical equipment. He has on his robes are like leather, and over his robe he has like bandoliers with all his like stabs and syringes and stuff in them. So he has 2OB put Wilbur on the table, and then he's going to I want to use a medic move. I want to
Nice.
do the body never lies, so I can roll plus sharp.
Well, I know the hips don't lie. I didn't know the
They
whole
don't.
body does lie.
So, but he doesn't. He barely has hips anymore. So,
Yeah. Well, he's all hips from the waist down.
yeah,
now.
it's just you don't want to go past. No, what's under there? Nope, you don't want to see it. All right, so plus sharp, that is 10.
Yeah.
So I can ask 3 questions.
Ask away.
All right. First one, probably most pertinent. what is wrong with them and how might I fix it?
I
I know it's wrong, but like, how might I fix it? Maybe more specific than no legs. What's wrong with them?
You don't think? I mean, you can probably attach small back to. I don't know what you even call them, almost like tube recyclers to it, in order to keep back to generating through to keep the wounds from eventually thawing and then bleeding from there from the trauma. So you know though that it's going to take either some type of prosthetic to replace those limbs. But overall, I mean, he's not bleeding out, which is a good thing. You've pretty much got it under control as long as he doesn't go into some type of cardiac arrest from trauma or meltdown from trauma, which he didn't appear to be, because you're pretty sure he just couldn't feel it.
Right. It's not. There's not a lot of emotional trauma yet. But all right. So question number 2, just to sort of get a sense of urgency. How long about until this body dies naturally?
Oh, his body dies naturally? Like,
I mean, like how long has he got? If I'm working on it, I'm trying to do my best with my little med kit, but like,
you think he could go a long time like this?
Okay.
Unless there's an infection.
Good. And then because I saw what happened most recently. So what strong emotions have been most recently nearby this body?
Panic.
Sure.
Like, I don't want to die. I really don't want to go to an imperial prison camp. Oh God, I've lost my legs.
Sure. It's a better power if I don't see what happened. But all right. So he will.
Did you want to ask a different question, because that was kind of obvious?
They're all like, kind of like, it's like what has been done most recently with this body. Like I saw it. Like
I'm fine if you want to freestyle a little bit with that, though. Honk and ask a little bit different of a question.
I think he wants to try to get a sense of, like, I think as best he can tell from, like, I don't know, recent wounds, anything like that, like, why the F is this guy here, and why is everyone trying to kill him? If I could find it out from anything medically related, I would.
Medically related, no, but you are enough of you travel enough, and you keep yourself occupied enough with HoloNet. You know who these guys are. It's only been a month since they killed somebody on TV.
Is he conscious?
I'm sorry, killed a bunch of people on TV.
Is Wilbur conscious? No, Wilbur's knocked out, right?
No, you didn't. Did you listen to it?
We did not kill the other people live on the HoloNet. Just that one. We killed a lot of people.
The reason you didn't kill them on the HoloNet is because you blew the room up with them in it. Remember how cool it was when you were walking away from the massive explosions?
Yeah, well, I mean, nobody knows those people died.
Yeah, they do. They indeed do.
They do. It was all over the news, the Holo news.
Also, you don't think that state-sponsored news is going to turn that into a thing?
There's a whole narrative
Fake
about
news.
it.
Oh no, it's 5 years into the empire. There is no fake news anymore. There is only what the empire gives you.
All right, so Honk is going to continue getting Wilbur stabilized and good to go until some sort of alternative leg situation can be worked out, and then he will. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So one thing you start to notice as you're feverishly working on this is that your medical partner in crime, 2OB, keeps looking down at Wilbur's lower body and then turning and looking at you, and then looking down at Wilbur's lower body and then looking at you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's somewhat affecting their ability to be the most effective nurse as possible.
I feel like I was going to do this anyway, but I feel like picking up on that. I would especially have 2OB discreetly put the unattached legs into cold storage for later.
No, they're broken up into chunks.
Oh, they're chunks.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're meaty chunks.
meaty chunks. Well, he'll still put them into cold storage because maybe he can get some money for the meat.
So you're less a doctor and more a barber, is what you're trying to say.
No, I mean, like, they're chunks. He's not going to fix them. 2OB can't use them.
No, meat
Hey,
is
I got
meat.
some Gamorrean meat. It's albino. It's very rare.
Meat is meat.
I'm gonna spend a bunch of cred fixing this guy.
Frederick!
Like Utini, man. Come on.
Yeah. So with the med kit, I can roll to like stabilize and heal someone's wounds.
Mhm.
So let me do that, buddy. Frederick, can you go? Thank you. He's sitting in my dice tray. So
He's like,
He's
oh, I
helping.
heard dice getting rolled. I'm
he
here
takes
for
up
this.
the entire tray. Frederick. Give me here. There you go, buddy. Good job. All right. So I roll plus stock. I have 6 stock. I'm probably going to use 3. This is a big job. Big job.
He's a big meaty boy.
He's a big meaty boy. That is going to be 10.
Yeah.
So
This is like surprisingly easy. One thing you notice as you're doing this is you've never really worked on a Gamorrean before.
Mhm.
And while his anatomy is kind of simplistic, it's very redundant. This thing could take a licking and keep on ticking. You're not even sure that he would even recognize his legs were gone for a while.
Very impressive physiology. Very redundant. I like that in a physiology. There is I don't know if you have the sheets up, but you have to pick one of the things from the list it's under med kit on my sheet.
Yeah, let me scroll down really quick. I've got so much open. It's going to take me.
I know. I could read them to you if you want.
No, I got it.
Okay.
Under med kit.
Under med kit, it's the italicized things. You have to pick one of them. It's sort of like you succeed, but there's a cost.
Mm-hmm. It's one of your stock.
All right. That was a lot. Fine. Get it all back with his leg meat.
Okay, Rorku, here they come.
What do I see in terms of weaponry on this thing?
Honk, what did the mine have for weapons? Or was it completely passive?
Oh, I forgot that. If I don't see any weapons initially, and I feel like our spot is blown, I'm going to try to get to the asteroid with our ships in it, because I think that's the only. We're not getting out of here without some firepower.
Honk, were there weapons on the mine? I can't recall.
I don't think so.
Okay, so you're like you're looking across the panel and there's nothing. How exactly are you going to avoid these 5 fighters and make your way to that asteroid? Especially since the larger vessel is starting to crest the other side of the asteroid.
How far away are we, and what are the shields like on this thing, Honk?
It has 2 shields.
2 shields? 2?
2 shields.
God! Oh, I should have gone with Cam.
Well, I'm sorry. We can leave you hanging in space if you'd like.
Is it fast? Like what?
It has plus 1 maneuverability, 2 shields, 2 armor, 3 hull. Spacious.
So it can take a little bit of a beating.
Hyperdrive.
Hyperdrive?
It does
That's
have
hyperdrive.
Okay.
Do any of our ships have hyperdrive?
I believe your fighters did not, because they used the Gozanti to get around.
Wilbur, did yours?
Wilbur's.
Silver's had it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
the
I don't
Sucker
believe the
Punch
Saboths have hyperdrive.
No, unfortunately.
I think if this thing can take a little bit of a beating, I'm just gonna punch it.
Okay, so you drop out, and then they start
Like,
to wheel
straight
around.
through, like goof, boof, and I'm just gonna like punch it straight. Like I'm just gonna go like straight at him.
So they start to wheel around, and you're kind of dropping, and you just pick back up.
Yeah.
And you go full speed right at them.
Yep.
They start to fire, but it's very erratic because they have to peel off, because it almost looks like you're just trying to ram them.
Yeah.
With like so it looks like the Sandcrawler's front. So it looks like you're trying to ram them with the bottom part of the front, not where the bridge is. They're not sure if they would survive that. They're much smaller, much more nimble, or I should say nimble. They're much faster ships, but they're not heavily armored. So they don't really get a shot off on you this time, a good shot. Instead, you're able to cruise. But that's about the point. Like I said, when you see that large Gozanti cruiser, I can't remember what those dudes are called now all of a sudden.
The lion's back. We're saved.
Guavian cruiser come around and crest, and you cruise at the asteroid and use it as a blockade just as it begins to fire. But you know you cannot stay there forever.
Yeah.
Like you're now caught between a rock and a hard spot when those fighters wheel back around. All right, back to Cam and PN15.
So I was stuck in the door.
You're stuck in the door.
Since my body is big and round, and one shoulder is already through, I'm just gonna side to side. I'm gonna wiggle so that the round part of the body can slip me through the rest of the way.
Okay. You know what? I want you each to roll one dice, and we'll add a +1 for each of you.
6.
I rolled 5 with the +1.
So between Cam, like literally putting his feet on the bottom of the door to push and pulling the other way, and you getting your wiggle on, you're able to slide through, and you just have huge door scrapes across your round belly, but you're also able to avoid the blaster fire just enough not to take any more wounds. But that door is going to stay in that particular way. You look across as you squeeze through, and you're both standing on each side of the door as they're shooting towards the gap. And you realize in order to get past that walkway, you're going to be in the line of fire.
Is it reasonable to think that we would still have whatever equipment we had last time?
Yeah.
So I'm going to grab the thermal detonator that I never used before.
Fair.
And I'm going to chuck it up to the top of the blast doors, like the asteroid part above them.
Okay, tell me more.
And then I'm gonna snatch up Cam, and in a very non-me moment, I'm going to run full tilt.
Perfect. I want you to act under fire.
Okay. That would be an 11.
Excellent. So as you look around the corner and they're firing, you arm the thermal detonator, you expertly toss it over on top of like a rock encroachment where the doors were built into. You reach across, you grab Cam, who's also looking into fire. You grab him, put him in front of you so he can't be shot, and you take off sprinting across this catwalk. It only takes a moment for you not to hear the explosion, but you feel a shock wave and you feel the catwalk warble, and then you see a wave of Minox flying across to the next asteroid as that collapses behind you, and you start to feel the gangplank or the catwalk fall. But you're moving quick enough, and you rolled well enough, that you get all the way across before it tumbles into space.
I'm an Imperial security model on the catwalk. I'm on
Yeah.
the catwalk. You know what I mean? On the catwalk.
You easily open the doors when you're there, and you are into the hidden hangar.
I will put Cam down, guessing that we are going to need 2 ships.
Well, I want to roll to read a sitch to see if I know what Rorku is thinking about either fighting or getting out of here.
I know you guys kind of have like a link, don't you? Like a mental link.
We also have we haven't used it, but we also have in comms, and we haven't used it at all.
Well, I think the situation's been so panicky,
Sure.
Yeah.
and really all this has taken place over the span of like what, 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you could definitely raise me on comm too.
Did I see the Guavian cruiser or only the fighters?
You saw the cruiser. You didn't see the whole thing, but you saw the front end of the cruiser.
Okay, I'm also going to want to read the sitch when
Okay.
Nate gets through.
Yeah, I got a 7.
You can't quite raise Rorku on comms. So what I will tell you, Rorku, is you can tell Cam what you would do in 5 words or less.
Run like hell is only 3.
Ooh.
You can make your roll PN15 while Rorku tries to figure out his message.
I rolled an 8.
What are you trying to read?
Knowledge of the Guavian cruiser, like how many people would be on it? Would there be additional fighters, or only the 2 or the 3 that I spotted?
Well, there was a squadron of 6. It's down to 5. You do know that. You don't know much about the Guavians, and they make their own cruisers, and they're very, very secretive about it. So what you do know is looks like a light cruiser. So it's probably got a reasonable complement of troops on it and personnel. But you also know they are big into cybernetics. So it might be a lot of cybernetic crew, which means not full people. Like they may just have parts of people operating machines, as well as robot members. So you're not exactly sure when it comes to the amount of folks on that, but it's heavily armed. You do know that. It's got a turbo laser on the top of it, a large turbo laser. It's got quad turbo lasers on the front sides, and then it's got 2 proton torpedo launchers, 1 on each side.
And would I know enough to be able to take out the life support?
No.
Okay.
Also, you're not sure how effective that would be since these are all cyborgs. It's kind of their thing is, modding their bodies.
It's a nice cruiser.
You couldn't run it by yourself. You want to run it by yourself.
I mean, maybe not at first. All right.
So your response, Rorku, is
Strafe, distract, jump, clutch, rendezvous.
that's what you get, Cam.
All right. So I'll say to PN15, we only got 1 ship with a hyperdrive. We'll have to take Wilbur's.
All right. Since it's unlikely I could take the cruiser, that seems prudent.
I mean, Wilbur may not want it back if it's got foot pedals on it.
Oh, man.
You know it's bad when you make a joke and you instantly go, I really hate myself for making a joke.
So, I think that I know that this thing has hyperdrive, but my fighter does not.
Mm-hmm. Well, you don't know for sure. You'd have to ask. I mean, you just know that. Well, you know, he told you at hyperdrive, so yeah.
Yeah. So my plan is to essentially like go straight for that hangar.
Was there a number, Honk, on your hyperdrive? Did it give you like a rating?
I think it just said plus hyperdrive.
Okay. Then it doesn't matter. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Rorku, you're doing what?
So my plan is basically to like get to that hangar, and what I told Cam is basically for them to come out when we're coming in.
No. You don't get to explain it now. What are you doing?
I'm going to fly for that hangar as fast as I can.
Okay,
and I'm going to tell Honk on the way what I plan on doing, which is I'll buy you some time with my fighter, and I want you to get him out of here.
So you're gonna park the ship at the hangar, which has has an opening.
I didn't say I was going to park anything.
So you're gonna jump out of the ship?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's cool.
All right.
All right. Honk the Trandoshan gets up and says, I'm going to be leaving the ship to get my friend out of here.
Okay. You know what? Good luck with that. And, space criminal. And then Honk's going to go, I guess, take the controls now that Wilbur's.
TOB looks at Rorku as he walks by and he says, have you been checked for mental health? I feel like you are potentially showing signs of mental instability. Let me access my files on Trandoshans. No, this seems logical. All right, what are you doing, Rorku?
I'm going to get up to that, basically the bubble on top, and I'm going to kind of like get myself set so that I can use the momentum of the ship, and I'm just going to like get my respirator, and I'm gonna try to make it to the thing. I'll use my vibro whip if I can get close enough to try to latch myself in, but.
So the only thing, and you both know it, is you're going to have to pull the ship almost to a stop to pull this off. Are you okay with that?
Pilot. So you know.
All right. So let's do your roll first, Honk. Honk, baby.
Yeah. What am I rolling?
You know what? I want you to roll to trust your instincts.
All right. It's a 0. So let's have fun, everybody. That's the important thing. That's a 7.
So you cruise the ship as close as you can to the direction that Rorku kind of pointed out, and you can kind of see it's got this wavy image to it. So you were like, that's not really there. Yeah. You pull, and as you pull towards it, 2 of the Z95 headhunters strafe the side of your ship, rocking it. Doing a little bit of damage. All right, Rorku.
Why am I doing
You got to act under fire, baby.
stupid hippopotamus? Oh,
Sure, that sounds great. Here we go.
You head up, and there's a little spot to latch yourself to the ship. You push it in, and the second circular door opens. You attach your mask, and you can feel the heat and atmosphere quickly dissipating.
Eight.
Goodbye, legs.
Better than 6.
I was going to start to call me the leg taker.
I've missed
You-
having a leg taker.
Yeah, we had one of those.
Yeah, you did. And you whip across because you realize your momentum's going to pull you right away from this. You whip out blindly through that hologram, and you hit something. You're not sure what. And you pull for everything you're worth.
I go in and Cam goes out.
This base instinct hits you of survival at all cost. And you pull until you can feel the muscles, the tendons in your arms just exploding. And you fall in to the hangar. You tumble into it. And you look across, and you have pulled the nose of your ship flat against the deck as you've broken the landing gear underneath it. It saved you one last time.
So the landing gear is out.
And
The ship-
the nose of the ship's kind of in bad shape. It's not flyable.
Okay, so are Cam and PN15 already in the other ships? Or do I see them?
Can PN15, what are you doing? Where are you? So
I think we're heading towards the ship, and I'm looking at Cam going, so should you fly it or should I?
I mean, you're better than me.
It's a terrible ship.
You got to start somewhere, buddy.
Okay. Look, it's Rorku.
and as soon as you say that, the front of the Rorku ship just slams into the deck and just kind of crumbles. The nose of it crumbles a little bit. It's in bad. You look at that and you're like, ew.
Yeah, I guess we don't have to come back for that.
So there's just those 3 ships in this hangar, nothing else?
No, you've been live and lean.
Okay, yeah.
So
I was just asking.
all you see is a sucker punch, the second to last starfighter, and the bloody fang. And the bloody fang is not going to be going anywhere.
Okay.
We're taking the one with hyperdrive.
I'd like to start up Bloodfang and try shooting this thing out of the hangar solo. Like, can I brick on the like as a distraction?
You'd have to pilot it though.
I couldn't just be like beep boop boop boop. And just
No,
oh, God damn.
you can't autopilot a fighter jet.
Sure can.
You got to kind of be in the cockpit for that.
Okay, can I hop in and see like
If you had a
what
droid, if you had a droid, you could do it.
Can I hop in and see what is active? Like if I could have, or like what?
You just try to pin the throttle.
I mean, if I have to fly
You
it
know
out,
what?
I have to fly it out.
Read it. And as you're reading that stitch, you can hear the blasts of those Z95 headhunters hit the mine.
Okay.
But you can't see out, so you don't know what's going on.
Gotcha. I rolled a 10, and what What am I adding for rolling a sitch? Sorry. Oh, it's plus. Oh, so I have -1, so it's 9.
And you're trying to figure out whether or not you can make this thing go.
Basically, like I'm not thinking like, oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm just saying like, if I'm in the cockpit, could I get this thing out there?
Yeah, you would possibly. I mean, you could probably. It's right close to where the opening is.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could get it out there. You're not sure if life support's working on it, and you're certainly know that thing ain't gonna fly. It's just gonna come out and kind of weeble wobbly, slowly go.
Could I set it to a self-destruct? I mean,
yeah, you know
not,
what?
I also have thermal detonators.
You could put a thermal
So I
detonator.
could set it to auto destruct.
Yeah, I mean, you could put it online,
Yeah.
so it's functional. It just hasn't fired, like it's idling, and then you could put a detonator in there for sure.
I'm gonna do that, and then I'll. I'm going to do that and set it for 3 minutes.
Okay.
The thermal detonator.
Okay.
And then I get out and I see Cam running to the second to last starfighter.
No, we're going to the sucker punch because it's got hyperdrive.
I'm just okay. Well, if
So,
you guys are
sorry,
going
I
to
just heard a big noise upstairs.
if you guys are going to the sucker punch, then I'll go to the second to last starfighter, and I'll run interference. So, like, if I see you guys running in there and second to last starfighter is still cool, I'll go to the second to last starfighter.
It doesn't have a hyperdrive.
I understand that.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna
This
yell.
is the one that we can get away on.
As you guys are having this conversation on the gangplank of the Houndstooth, you hear an explosion from where you came into the deck as the blast doors have been blown up, and Guavian troopers in the larger multi-atmospheric version of their armor start to come in.
Don't make this like walking versus speeder bikes all over again.
I just don't think that we're going to get away without some interference.
I don't even know if there'd be room for all three of you in the sucker punch.
Yeah,
Anyway.
in the sucker punch.
There is.
No.
Oh, okay.
It's super tight, but there is.
Squishy bodies conform to spaces.
It's a good episode.
What are you doing? Because you're running out of time.
PN5 is moving in pilot seat and doing startup.
Yep. Cam, what are you doing?
I am going to say to Rorku, come on, let's go. We got to get out of here. You can't stay behind. And then I'm going to get in with PN.
Yep.
All right. Well, then when I'm running by the second to last starfighter, I'm going to attach a thermal detonator to the outside of that one as well, and I'll hop in the sucker punch. I'll set that for 1.5 minutes.
Okay. So you guys get in, you get it fired up, and PN15, you come idling out of the dock, and you realize just how slow and sluggish the ship is. Like you're like punch it, and it's like doo Sunday driver. Honk, as you're trying to turn to avoid all these shots, another ship, like it looks bizarrely like an old Trade Federation ship, comes out of the asteroid, but not with a lot of fanfare, just kind of moseying on out. The nice thing is, as soon as that ship comes out, though, that Guavian cruiser turns its intercept course away from you and towards that ship.
Aces. All right.
And as we're pulling out, I'm already setting up for the hyper jump.
Perfect. Honk, what are you doing?
Honk is ceasing evasive maneuvers. Not that his moves are that evasive. And I don't know, can he radio this other ship? Or like, can he try to hail it? Is that a thing in Star Wars?
You do.
It's like, I've got your friend
you've
who has
got-
no legs. What?
Yeah,
what are you
you've got
doing?
Wilbur on the table, and you know he has a comm link.
Great. Yeah, I'll use that comm link and be like, excuse me, your friend and what's left of his legs is still on my ship. What are you doing?
Hello, we're going to be hyper jumping.
Just indiscriminately?
Somewhat discriminately.
So PN15 is piloting. Could I send over the coordinates that he's entered into the nav to Honk? Okay. I'll send over the coordinates and say, meet us here.
Okay. Oh, Jesus. 2OB. What have we gotten ourselves into, buddy?
2OB enters the coordinates, turns and looks at you and says, as they jump, and as you get ready to push the button, that is not a secure channel. And you push the button and
Oh, no.
you jump into hyperspace.
I just enjoy that one of our ships is piloted by 2OB and the other one is piloted by not 2OB.
So you both jump to hyperspace, and probably like 15 minutes later, you come out of hyperspace, and your ships kind of pull up into similar areas. You're moving on like sublight speed. Are you going to alert them, Honk, that they were not on a secure channel any longer?
Yeah, that's the first thing I'm going to alert them about.
You alert them of that. You guys are now know you were not on a secure channel.
It's like middle finger emoji, not secure, assholes.
And that's when a Star Destroyer, 2 Gozanti cruisers, and an interdictor enter the system. You're hailed immediately.
Oh, God. Hello.
Oh wait,
I'm
I lost dude's name for a second. Hold on a second. I thought I had everything written down, but apparently I missed something. This is General Terranald Screed of the Imperial Navy. Stand down your engines and prepare to be tractor beamed aboard. If you are a hostage, you will be taken care of to the best of our abilities. Should you be one of the assassins we have been alerted to, surrender yourselves now and it will go much easier.
Honk just responds, I'm a hostage. I'm a hostage. I was abducted by space criminals.
Assassins, your final warning, release your hostages. All of you kind of notice there's an additional ship in this group. It's a HoloNet ship. Like, they're broadcasting all this.
You have reached the voice holo recording of trade ship 77423. Please leave your message after the tone. Tone. And I'm plotting our next jump.
Yes.
As you're doing that, you're having a hard time because they're jamming you.
Ooh.
All right.
Once again, this is Commander Screed of the Star Destroyer.
I'm sorry. Your pause
Diligence.
has delayed and restarted the voice.
Prepare to be boarded. You feel the tractor beam jerk your ships.
I am going to floor it towards the ship that's tractor beaming us and try to build the momentum. And
We're
then
shooting the moon, baby!
and south of it, like use the increased momentum to break out of the tractor beam with like a little barrel roll before hitting the jump to hyperspace.
Okay, yeah.
This is not going to be a trilogy.
Ye of little.
The next two parts are just going to be following the leg chunks.
Oh, ye of little force. I rolled an 8.
Honk, also roll. Give me a big bad booty daddy roll of act under fire.
All right.
Because I'm assuming you're following after. Well, what are you doing? No, I should ask first. What are you doing?
I am not flying my front wedge of a sandcrawler at high speeds toward a bunch of ships that can blow me out of space at any time. I am like, thank God for tractor beams.
So you're just gonna. You're
I
like.
am a hostage. I have
You're so you
2/3 of one of the assassins.
So you and 2OB just mostly go on camera and put your hands
We're like,
up.
hey, no.
I don't even know these
I
assholes.
don't even know these assholes. They came on my ship. They piloted my ship. They were rude to me. They left blood all over my floors.
So
You have to clear
PN15,
out the
you're
sleeve
going
strap.
right at the
I'm letting the tractor beam add to our speed, and then
Okay.
using the additional speed to try to break out of the tractor beam. And I know I said it was an 8, but I was looking over ace moves. Actually, a 9.
okay.
Is there anything we can do to support him?
No, not in this particular role. I mean, you can fire guns,
I
but
don't know if that's. I think that would tip them off.
So you let the tractor beam turn your ship, and as it starts to pull you, you wait until you're about halfway towards the Star Destroyer, and then you punch the engines. You think with a faster ship, this might work. But at this point, you're like, thus is existence. But you literally shoot yourself just under the belly of the Star Destroyer. You manage to break free of the tractor beam, but you don't jump to hyperspace. And you can hear the whirl of your engine, your hyperspace engine going, wah, 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 wah.
Can I indiscriminately punch something? See if it works.
You indiscriminately punch Cam in the side of the head. He's like, "Oh God!"
As soon as I hear that, I'm going to change our direction to go towards the media ship
Okay,
to use it as cover.
that's perfect. Yes.
The whole time this is happening, he's
Make me those sweet ace rolls, baby.
as he's doing this on the radio to the Star Destroyer, he's keeping up a constant stream of, "I'm sorry, I didn't understand that." To repeat the options, press 0. For customer service, press 1. For billing, press 2.
As that keeps
For
going,
intergalactic disputes,
you hear the
press
comm
3.
link, you hear the hail comm go off, and as you're going, you just see 1, 5, 10, 12, 18 little blips as a flood of TIE fighters come launching out of the belly of the Star Destroyer, and the Gozantes start to turn to pursue your ship. Honk, you notice not an attractor beam anymore. Just like they're all turning their attention towards this heavily modified droid fighter that's now speeding towards a civilian ship.
I rolled an 8 for what it's worth.
Okay, as you are going, you can hear your hyperdrive is still trying to turn over. It just continues to this wah, 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 wah. It's very, it's a sound that isn't good.
It goes without saying that I would fix that if I were not trying to pilot a ship and keep us all from dying, or at least those of us capable of dying from dying. Perhaps if one of the other occupants of this ship could address the hyperdrive, that would be useful.
At that point, you go flying right by the civilian ship, and you get rocked by a TIE fighter that has already caught up to you. Wilbur, your eyes start to flutter, and you set up, and you go, beans and gravy.
That's what's left of your legs, beans and gravy.
Yeah. Honk, you turn around and look in your brain, you're going, I don't know how that thing's awake.
I don't know how that thing's awake. He says that. He's like, I don't know how that thing's awake. Hello, that thing. Welcome to my
2OB comes craning down like over you and goes, you should really get more rest. And you see one of the arms rotate out, and it's got a massive needle. What do you want to do, Wilbur?
I am going to try to grab the arm.
Don't destroy my medical robot.
I don't want to destroy. No.
Please don't destroy that.
Is that that must be a cool here.
No, it's a hard.
It's a hard? Oh, okay. That would be a 10.
That needle starts to come down, and the other robot arm gently touches you, but firmly holds you in place. You lock one of your massive arms around that arm, and your other shoots up and grabs that arm. And you kind of think, well, it is a robot. It should be stronger than me. And you feel this terrifying adrenaline run through you as you take the arm and pull it free from the socket.
No, my robot.
And the robot looks directly at you, Honk, and says, I've been injured.
Oh my God. What is with you people?
This
could you just lay back down, space criminal?
Doctor,
Space criminal.
Doctor, this is a horrible calamity. I can no longer function because I now am missing.
You only got one
it's hold up 3 digits and says 3 limbs.
Oh, you only got.
Wilbur, what are you doing?
We'll fix him later. What the hell is going on?
You look down and
my
you've got
friend.
these weird like attachments on your stumps of legs. You can
Going-
feel the back to in there. It feels quite good. This is premium stuff. Not that stuff you had at the mining facility that was filthy.
Mm.
I'm going to go narco stab Wilbur.
Wilbur, you turn yourself on the table and you look out of the viewport and you see your ship being chased by TIE fighters, a couple Kazanti cruisers, and a Star Destroyer. But yet, you're not on your ship. And now a Jawa is coming at you with a narco stem.
You lost your legs to the cruelest mistress of them all, Gamorrean. Space. Final frontier.
Go to sleep.
Go to sleep. Stab.
I want you both to roll attuned.
All right.
Higher roll gets to do their thing.
8.
What is brain is not working. 11.
Honk, you go up to stab him, and as you get ready, his massive hand covers your entire length of your forearm, and then you look over to where your trusty assistant is, who's missing the same arm,
Look.
and he looks down at you and is like, "No."
Look.
Then pat very hard your hand, and the stem falls out of it.
All right. I won't not go stab you.
Go help my friends.
With what? I don't have any weapons. Have you see it's like an army out there. What am I gonna do?
I don't know.
Okay, well, you seem to be the one who has ideas here. You're the space assassin.
2OB comes over and uses a chair to pick you up, Wilbur, and sets you over by where Honk's pilot chair is. And then moves quickly away from you, grabs its arm and covets it away. Very quietly saying to itself, "Someday I'll have all my limbs again."
You will. I promise.
Someday.
You're gonna do it. We're gonna get you those limbs, buddy. We're gonna do it. See, my poor medical robot that you just mutilated
Disarmed.
has been suffering with I guess a similar condition to yours for a lot longer. And we're just trying to make a little bit of money to get my robot its limbs back. So
Gamorrean patient, I too once had legs. I understand what you're going through.
yeah.
I am here to
I'm not
counsel
sure
you.
what I'm going through yet.
I am here to counsel you if you need it.
There was
Appreciated. We have more pressing concerns. I will take all.
There is never
the counseling later.
there is never a bad time.
There was
to
a
talk.
HoloNet telethon for my robot's limbs, but nobody donated.
It got interrupted by some asshole shooting dudes in the face.
It did.
And then blowing everybody up on the way out. Hey, wait a second.
The 2OB telethon has now been
Preempted.
preempted for this important hostage situation. All
To
right.
be fair, we never
Right.
took them
Yeah.
hostage.
But I guess we're even now. So
While they figure out what they're doing, PN15, what are you doing? Your ship just got rocked.
I say, cover both food holes, meat sacks. And I initiate the following maneuver. I'm going to do a barrel roll, but instead of side to side, it's going to be front to back
Oh, God.
as I cut the engines on the ship completely because it's not that fast. So we'll just go forward while rolling. And as we roll back, I'm going to fire upon the TIE fighters behind us. As we come back around, I'm going to cut the engines on and then slowly come around the side of the non-military ship to get cover, knowing that the remaining TIE fighters will rocket past us.
So you do know, just from your ace piloting skill, what you have done is you have cut off both those cruisers and that destroyer from being able to get a bead on you.
Yes.
But you know those TIE fighters are maneuverable enough that they are pretty quick on that turnaround. And they're accurate enough that it's going to be hard for you just to stay stagnant beside that ship.
Yeah, I'm going to keep moving.
Okay.
But since we're moving so much slower, it's going to be hard for them to actually target us. Because
When they're
TIE
going
fighters
fast.
are fast.
They are very fast. You're not that slow. You're just slower.
So
All right, roll your ace move. Cam, Rorku, what are you doing during all this?
All right. I'm going
Besides,
to
like, Cam sitting in Rorku's lap with no seatbelt.
I'm going to send an encoded message to Honk with our secondary rendezvous coordinates.
Read a sitch, please.
I'm going to try to fix that hyperdrive.
Okay.
And Ben, it's 12.
Oh, did you get a double six?
I did not, but piloting skills apparently get you a fuck ton of bonuses if you do dumb shit.
Yes, they do. Cam, trust your instincts, please.
All right.
What'd you get, Rorku?
Ooh.
You send that message.
Yep.
Oh, God.
You send it over and Honk. You don't get it because they're jamming your signals,
Makes sense.
which I said right when we got here.
I was trying to get it through.
It's worth a shot.
Strawberry. I got a 10.
You go back there and you're like, I've done this with supervision. So you like climb over Rorku and like skinny on your back through the hatch and you're digging around and you can hear, it's like right in your ear, this wah, 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 wah. And at first you're just like,
easily repairable.
yeah, you're unplugging, replugging, like rewiring, and finally you just take a spanner and you just start banging it against it. So PN15, you start to spin and they blow by you. And then you kick those engines on and you're just like, you just rain through a bunch of TIE fighters, just blowing them up left and right. And that's when you hear this clanging noise. And you're going to fly right by that press vehicle when you feel, or when not just feel, but you see all the lights turn green and you jump. Honk, they just jumped.
Where'd they go? Where did your space assassin friend go?
Do I know the secondary rendezvous?
You should.
You have a couple different rendezvous points that you use. So yeah, you can
Torso.
You have a good idea.
Here's the coordinates.
I've never had a name. I've always just been 2OB. Thank you. Punches in the coordinates.
I thought your name was Toby.
Oh, Torso.
All right, Torso.
Thank you, Doctor. You jump. Just as they jump, like you can see like the attention kind of turn back to you. Like, oh, and then you jump as well.
Great.
So you jump
Perfect.
and you don't connect with them the first time. But
Good.
the second jump
Oh.
Wilbur gets you to where they are. And you're in a pretty sparse part of the mid-rim, hiding kind of around a dead moon. when a coded message comes through on the long range frequency aboard the sucker punch.
Can we decipher it?
You can just bring it up.
All right.
Okay. Let's bring it up.
It is a almost anime-esque version of a Gamorrean dancer. It says, "Hello, my name's Hollow. I will be your messaging service from Olari Marin. I have been downloaded into your ship's computer, so I will be easily accessible on a data stick. Here is your mission. You are to travel to Ord Mandel. There, you are to make contact with the partisans E4 and the Tognath pilot Edrio Two Tubes. They have information vital to Olari Marin's current activities. You will most likely find them gambling and hobnobbing on the sparkling secret casino platform. Be wary. ISB has a presence on Ord Mandel, as does Crimson Dawn. All of these parties would be very interested in the information the partisans hold. You will be given a room. It has already been paid for, as well as a $50,000 stipend for gambling purposes and to buy clothing, as you are all wanted individuals. And like the whole time this is going on, she's doing like the anime poses and like pushing her butt out and doing all these things. It's real disturbing.
I like lean over to Cam and I'm like, she's quite attractive.
If you say so.
I will be your AI contact throughout this mission. Please follow the coordinates to the, I gave it a name, in fact, to landing deck number 93 BO1 at the Sparkling Secret. There, your transponder codes will be removed and replaced. Shh, it's a secret.
Could you also remove and replace this terrible ship?
Oh, I'm afraid I can't. But I can put you into contact with a friendly ship merchant there, a Mon Cal named Nograt Grebe, who has been known to do some naughty business on the side.
Yes.
Well, Wilbur, Olari Marin wishes you luck, and I'll see you soon. Winky face. And then it cuts out. And you guys are like, oh, God, she thought we were Wilbur the whole time.
Story of my life.
And that is where we're wrapping up episode 1 of Scum and Villainy.
Nice.
Hey, remember those bounty hunters we ran into on Ord Mantell? Yeah, tell everybody where they can find you, what you're up to, who you be with.
All right. Well, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at CubicleZombie. You can find me every other Monday on this very fun channel with Warrior playing little Down and Outlands, where we're wonderful kids. Not shitty at all. We're great.
I just want you guys to make a shirt that says SLKs on the back. It says not shitty at all. So then you can just do the Adam Cole boom every time.
Yeah. Get that merch. And then every other Saturday, still this very channel, playing fun Drakewind Falls. I'm a student, learning all sorts of things. Probably going to fall asleep in my class on the next episode, which that's probably in the past now, but that's okay.
It is in the past.
Yeah.
You're living for tomorrow, baby.
I'm Warrior. You can find me at WarriorMN on the socials.
Warrior, I love how you've shifted from New York accent to somewhat Southern back to your normal way of speaking.
I can't. I have a few voice. See, now I'm stuck. I get stuck in voices.
Yeah.
It's
New York
beautiful.
one's really hard. I get stuck in it for a really long time.
I didn't know it was going to be a New York Jawa, but now I'm all into it.
Yeah,
I thought it was a Jersey Jawa.
Wait till
Yeah,
you find out why he talks like that.
Jersey
so-
Jawa was the name of my middle
Jawa.
school punk band.
Tatooine's just one big beach. Don't need water if you got sand, you know. You can find me on the socials at WarriorMN. You can find me where Nate said. And you can also find me on Saturday, April 2nd on twitch.tv/Daxara, Daxara 19 for a charity Crash Pandas game where I'm playing a raccoon named Stan Antonio.
So good.
That is at I believe it is let me double check. I think it's 9 a.m. Eastern time. And yeah, it's gonna be good.
God.
It's gonna be good. Very stupid. This character is delightfully stupid. I cannot wait. It is the charity event is benefiting the Parkinson's Foundation. So very good cause. But feel free to stop by next Saturday morning and say hello. See me play raccoon named Stan Antonio.
Hey, I'm James. You can follow me at HueyBeardWalks on Twitter and Up Your Architecture on Instagram. You can also find me being the Drake Warden of Nate and Warrior and Lady Christie and Yol at Drakewind Falls every other Saturday evening here on Known World United on Twitch. And you can check out our YouTube channel at Known World United and follow us at Known World Unite.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at HypnoHustlin. I'm on Instagram if you want to see my custom action figures at HypnoHustlers_customs on Instagram. And you can find me every Tuesday night, either on the Dave Wonder channel or on the Heel Turn Radio channel, doing Tiny Ming Tuesdays, where we customize. And every other week, your King Ginger is also a guest. And every now and then, you get Big Baby Jesus himself coming in, making it Tea Time Tuesdays. So check us out. It's fun. It's low key. The chat's great.
Yeah.
All right. You can find me on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Less me, more things that I draw and paint. At Finger Twitchings. And you can find my book, Party Starters, which is pre-made D&D characters. I probably shouldn't call it D&D characters, but characters for
Tabletop agnostic.
Yeah. Backstories, art, all of it's set, ready to go. You can find that on the Apple Books platform, or you can find it at Drive-Thru RPG.
Highly recommended. I'm the guy running the game. I think this will probably be a trilogy.
If
Maybe
we
more.
last that long.
Maybe
Right.
maybe less, maybe more if people want more. But it'll definitely be a trilogy to start off with. So I'm your King Ginger, your fail well every Thursday night for Bad at Games, where the Beard and I are starting to line up a schedule. So we will be going back to, I shouldn't say it because I don't know when this is going to air. We'll be playing games, but eventually we're going to have a schedule. That's all you need to know. Every other Monday night down in Outlands with Warrior, with Nasty Nate, just being nasty. The lovely Cassandra and scintillating Shannon, all playing wonderful children, doing wonderful things across the Omniverse. Every other Tuesday, Tiny Mang, getting my Mang on with New Money Matt, the Minnesota Madman, and Diamond David Wheeler. And then every Sunday at 10 a.m., these are all Central times, 10 a.m. Central for prep school. Hey, if this is going to come out sooner rather than later, the 17th, I'm having Dirk Stanley on, who is the creator of Faraway Lands, as well as Mere Anarchy. So yeah, super cool guy. Hopefully, if you make game stuff or just run games or just make really cool characters like Warrior does, contact me. Come on in the morning. We just talk about creative stuff. And sometimes when my players aren't on, I prep my games. This game got prepped on one of those. So
That's why I can't watch.
yeah. Well, technically the game didn't get, the campaign got prepped, I should say. So yeah, there you have it. We love you. We wanted to give you the best Star War in the Stars that we could. And we're going to be Star Warsing so hard for 2 other episodes of Scum and Villainy. Until then, Chewie, fix the hyperdrive.
Insert Chewie noise.